Hi, and welcome back to Let's Play EG. Today we're doing our violent run of Sector X. So, here we are, finally in Sector X. Now, Sector X overall is kind of a giant brawl. It's just filled with enemies in every open corridor. And actually, as a nice little touch, I think, based off the story, we now know that the Tazen are dead. They're gone. They're all gone. And as such, there are no Tazen enemies in this sector at all. Which really makes sense if you think about it. Now, as for Kamado enemies, we have tons of troopers, handful of berserkers, dozens of beasts, at least 5 annihilators that I can think of off the top of my head, so many turrets that just pop up out of nowhere, and the introduction of Sky Smashers, but more on those dicks later. I hate Sky Smashers. Really works either way. EG comments here. The rain that has been going on for the entirety of the game seems to have become acidic now, in that we can see this steam coming up every time it hits the ground. So this is a Sky Smasher, and there it goes. Pretty much Sky Smashers are horrible because they come always with shock splitters. And they can shoot you from very far away, from any altitude. You could be jumping to avoid somebody else, and then a shock splitter comes out of nowhere and hits you out of the air. They're just a pain in the ass. The best ways to deal with them are just to shoot explosives at them. Oh, by the way, if you're getting all the collectibles, don't forget to do this. It's very important, and it'll come into play later on. Anyway, back to Sky Smashers. The best way to deal with them is to just shoot explosives in their general direction, hope you hit them, or, if you're doing a more pacifist run, try and use your resonance reflector to bounce their shots right back at them. It tends to work. Another really nice touch, and again, just really based on story and things that have happened so far. Really, you'd only know this if you went to Deep Sector in the last sector, but there's no assassins in this level. And this can be equated to Assassin Anna's message from the last sector to, everybody bail. Just bail, there's no point to this anymore. The anomaly's killing everybody. You can try and throw your life away to kill her, but nobody's been able to do it yet, so really just save yourselves. And I think that's a really interesting, touch. Actually, let's talk about the mission and why we're over in this area. The door to progress onward is closed off by a generator, which is then protected by 2 blast shields. The generator's also been protected from nuke attacks, so there's no way to get to it that way. And there's 2 switches, one over here that we just pressed, and one on the other side, which we'll be seeing shortly. Now, there is another way around this, and that's, we can shoot through walls. So, yeah. That's also how you activate the supercharge. Now, shooting it will, of course, release the doors, and we could continue on right now. But we still need to release both blast doors in order to get to the supercharge. So, we've got to keep going anyway. The big suggestion, I guess, I have for this sector is conserve your MPFB ammo. It's good for taking out those annihilators, but that stuff can go real fast, and you're going to need it for annihilators, so don't waste it on the normal nukes. Hopefully by now you have 10 attacks, so you can just use shock splitters and rockets on them. There is actually an abundance of CFIS ammo, so feel free to use your Velocithor. Or CFIS if you haven't upgraded it yet. There's some goodies behind that door, but you need kick 7. And really, who upgrades strength? Fast 6. So you can kick troopers. And I'm just getting completely destroyed by this trooper. That was a berserker. Anyway, through this door, there's a logbook. Nah, it's not important. Also, I seem to have found a use for the Buster. So Asha's back with a ton of new attacks. He's got these laser walls right here. They can be a pain in the ass. He's got... It's coming up in a couple seconds, I think. Here it is. By the way, I don't know how I dodged that. And he's got 2 more, but... Wait, watch this right here. Yeah, if you have a Buster Gun and attack 10, this isn't a hard boss at all. Like, in the least. Oh wait, there's another one right there. I end up mainly dicking around trying to get his other attacks to show up, which doesn't really turn out too well. So let's talk about this fight a bit. I like the arena. Dan Raymar actually says that he was trying to reproduce the Ridley fight. Oh, here's the last attack. Just duck to avoid. The game even tells you. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm done messing around. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but those lasers there, similar to the ones from the Proxima Sentinel fight, cause extreme slowdown. And unlike some other things, there's really nothing I can do about it, aside from maybe turning the graphics down. But I didn't feel like it, and it wasn't too bad. So after you take down the second bulkhead, don't forget to go back and pick up the supercharge. It'd be kind of dumb to just move on without picking it up. And now that we have the supercharge, we also need to go pick up the poster. Well, I'll show you how to get the poster. I've already gotten it. But, right, it's over in this direction. You actually have to, if you're ever looping around, well, if you ever loop around for the poster, you have to go down this lower path because you can't actually make the jump back up on the upper path. And right here, you're seeing how annoying Sky Smashers are. I keep trying to fight this guy, and just an extra shock splitter coming down is such a pain in the ass. It just keeps getting me over and over again. One of my stray rockets finally took him out, but just, it can shoot you at any horizontal plane, and that's just, that extra point to it makes it so annoying. I wonder what this will be. Oh man, explosive shotgun. I got so excited for a second I switched right to the buster gun. I'm like, yeah, explosive shotgun. Memories. Anyway, to get the poster, go to this point, switch to the nuke. Blow yourself across the gap, and then climb up here. When you reach the top, switch to the splinter gun. Get positioned kind of around between that locker and that vent. I'll move in a minute. And knock out that glass. Now hopefully you knock down the shredders. Get in one, drive it all the way back, and then gun it. And you'll make it into the room. EG celebrates finding the 10th poster. And it's a poster of Tor. Now, I have to emphasize, you have to use the splinter gun to break that window. If you use the nuke, it will destroy the boxes and you won't be able to jump up to the shredders. I have to emphasize that. Here we're getting a clip of the slowdown from the Asha room. Even though we can't see it, we're kind of in proximity of it, and I guess the game is generating the visuals for it, so we're getting a bit of slowdown. Once we get past this little area right here, it won't affect us, and it'll only affect us if we're in the top part of it, so it's not going to be too big of a deal. Oh, that one I think is like a pulse cannon, and that's like plasma cannon. Anyway, remember when we hit that switch back in Sector 8 that mentions an Annihilator Beta? This is what it lets you do. And actually right there, you can hear a little in-game lore mention. The Berserkers will yell Siratako in reference to the Siratako incident, which I've shown in a couple of vlogs already. The main reason to use the Annihilator Beta, which I'll show right here, you can pretty much just break both of these walls on the bottom, or all the walls, which will give you a nice little shortcut into the end. I don't know how viable that is in a pacifist run, because any kills done by the Annihilator beta counts as kills for you. So I've never actually experimented to see if you can walk the Annihilator beta through there and not kill anybody. So since my pacifist run for this sector will probably be more of a speed run, I'll have to look into that. Now for this area, I've already broken through with the Annihilator beta, so I could just walk through, but at some point in this recording, I made it a personal goal to kill everything in the sector. I honestly don't even know why. There's no point to. But it was just like, violent run. I just murder everything. Also, you'll see me cracking a lot of things. There's a couple of endgame rankings, and there's an unlock for hitting 100 successful cracks that I still haven't gotten, because you kind of have to put a conscious effort into getting it. It's also like successful cracks minus unsuccessful, so I've already failed like 10 by now. So I need 110. It gets to a point where it's like you really have to focus on it. And I was thinking maybe I was close, so I was putting some effort into the cracking. One of these days I'll get all the unlocks for this game. Now what's this place called? Oh, Helios Labs. I wonder if that's a Doom reference. I'd like to think it is. Anyway, the Helios Labs, as it says, is the final area of Sector X. It's pretty much a big vertical shaft that you're going to have to be jumping up with something along the lines of 20 troopers, 10 or 15 berserkers, 5 beasts, and 2 annihilators. Also about a dozen turrets, all with like shock splitters and plasma cannons, and just overall a pain in the ass. However, in the side rooms, there's also a lot of stuff to find. There's a good amount of ammo, there's a good amount of nano, and I guess if you're not rushing, doing like a speed run, it's always good to explore these side rooms. For instance, right here, there's quite a bit of shock splitter ammo. Also, once again, hacking everything. And with that, we've hit our level cap. Period. 5 levels per sector, 10 sectors, and I've hit level 50. Aside from one point that I, of course, missed because I killed the girlfriend Tazen from Sector 3, I've gotten all the possible level ups. You'll never be able to level up every stat on a normal playthrough. It's a little unfortunate. I feel like it'd be cool if you could and then got something really special for doing it, but the points just didn't work out that way. You would have there's like 3 points off, and like where would you have put those 3 points? A little upsetting, but oh well. Also, we got Nano Chaos, which you know my opinion of Nano Chaos. Just doesn't last long enough to be useful. Or be useful, period. Turrets and Sky Smashers. Fucking ass. And at this point, in this long-ass room where I had my personal goal to kill everything, I eventually just got fed up and switched to the Velocitor. Just take everything out real fast. It's kind of weird. When you're using the Velocitor, you can't see any projectiles that are behind it. And this guy gets a shock splitter. is he special? This is one of the rooms I was talking about. Just look at all that nano that's in there. You could probably get, like, if you're halfway, it's probably half a level. Yeah, I'd say that's half a level. And here I thought just do some experimentation. I've read somewhere that although the Velocithor is the highest DPS per second, or just DPS, not DPS per second, it's damage per second. No, anyway, even though that the Velocithor is the highest DPS, the CFIS is the highest damage per ammo consumed. Now, I don't know if that's really right, because the MPFB does 9 damage per ammo, but I don't know, maybe the CFIS does it faster? But eventually I just switched to the MPFB and was just like, let me just be done with this. And up here is Turret Town. You got 2 turrets firing rockets. 2 turrets up here with plasma cannons. And then 2 MPFB turrets. It's like, really? But with that, right there, I've killed everything in the sector, so personal goal achieved. And we're just going to pick up this little remaining ammo. And there's actually one more little part after this, but it's nothing special. It's just a little final, like, walk to the final boss fight. And actually, you may have noticed that we haven't picked up the ribbon yet. The ribbon's actually in this area. It's kind of hard to miss. You come right up here and as soon as I jump up, oh, there it is. Advanced recovery is the best thing ever. And actually, coming up here, as you may have noticed looking at the progress bar, I am going to cut the video. The final boss fight and the ending are actually fairly lengthy, so I decided to trim it into 2 videos so that we won't have one 50-minute long video. So I will see you guys next time for our confrontation with General Tor.